How many women are in the troupe in general?
Currently or within the season? Because it changes. Because the season just ended.
Okay.
So our turnover from last season is 5.
Okay.
Actually, it's 6 technically.
6 technically.
Yeah, 6 technically. It's turnover from last season, but last season we did have 12 performers.
Okay.
So, and then the season before that we had 8. So it's up and down, and
Okay.
who can stay and who can stick with it. And a lot of people have full-time jobs that perform with us, so they kind of balance their full-time job, their family, and then burlesque is somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So sometimes people get through a season and realize, I want to see my kids again, you know?
It's a big commitment. We spend a lot of time rehearsing. For a while, our rehearsal schedule was 3 days a week for 6 hours at a time. I mean,
That's
not
a
many
lot.
people can give up that much
Yeah.
time in their lives, you know.
In addition to promotional events that we did,
Yeah.
every month we did 2 promotional events a month and 1 social where we just hung out together instead of working together. So that we could actually kind of get to know each other outside of 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
you know?
But that's good because it gives you a better working relationship.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really helps.
It's actually really important, I think, with women, because we tend to really grind at each other a lot, you know, when we go through our cycles of being overly emotional and not, you know, we have a
That
time where
sync
we
up
can...
when you've been spending that much time
Right.
together.
you know,
So everybody's bitchy at the same time.
one week a month, nobody wants to look at each other. But, you know,
Yeah,
when
it's bad.
we take the time to actually have fun together, it really helps things. You
Mhm.
know, I've made some really great friends doing this. I hope to continue to make really great friends.
Yes, please.
Can you get some more water, please?
Thank you. I put the cup on the floor. It's,
I'm just there. There's water in the fridge.
thank you.
Thank you. So then how long, I know you've been doing this also since September.
Yeah. I actually knew Scarlette before we started dancing together. We both had jobs at a plus size clothing store
No,
for
the
a little
regular
while.
bar. Yeah.
And we hadn't talked in a bit, and I ran into her at the Renaissance Fair, and we kind of reconnected. And a few weeks after that, she posted on her Facebook that she was looking for dancers for this burlesque troupe. And I was like, I'm a great dancer, you know, like that would be fun. People pay me to take my clothes off, like I can wear fancy underwear. Heck yeah, I'm in. So I went and I auditioned for her.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've never done choreographed dancing before. I've always just been kind of a freeform dancer, you know. I really love dancing.
Beautiful freeform dancer.
So I told her before I came, I'm like, I don't know how to choreograph a dance routine, but I'll put something together. So I, you know, threw together an outfit that I just had some lingerie and a corset and a dress, and picked out a song and figured out kind of some points in the song where I would take things off, and I did a routine, and I got in.
That's because your routine was pretty amazing. I mean, you'd never know that you would put it together in such a small amount of time.
Yeah, it was like 2 days I had to actually prepare something, but yeah, it was.
And we make sure that in all of our audition postings that we say that bring layers so that you can take your layers off, and nudity is not necessary in our auditions because we don't want anyone to be uncomfortable, and it's not like we have to like check your body out to make sure it's right, you know.
Right.
There's no right body, so it's like usually for our auditions we're like show up, bring lots of layers, and make sure you take 2 or 3 things off so that we can just see your form, so we can see
Right.
how you take your sweater off, how you undo your buttons, how you pull your gloves off. There's an art form to it, and even if it's raw, we can tell. So even if you're like, oh crap, and then you're pulling it off nicely, then we can say, okay, great, we'll just work with you on that, no problem. Most of the girls in the troupe last season had never danced, ever,
Yeah.
and they just wanted to try it, and they turned out to be some
Really great dancers.
really fantastic dancers who just were really sensual and very sexual women who could get on stage and captivate an audience without even having to take all the layers off. I mean, I had dancers that only went down to a bra and a skirt,
Yep.
and the audience loved them. Totally loved them. So for auditions, I tell the girls they don't have to go down to pasties, they don't have to get naked, there's none of that. But this one comes to the audition, and
I didn't have pasties, and
she
I
didn't
didn't
have
care.
pasties, and she did her routine. And might I add, at the time, we did not have a private rehearsal studio.
Oh.
We were renting a clubhouse at a mobile home park of a friend of ours with windows.
Lots of windows all
Lots of
over. I didn't even think about that fact. I was just going
with the
for
traffic going by.
Yeah.
You know?
It. Didn't even cross my mind. I was
But
just like, I'm just taking it off,
I'm
baby.
sitting there with my choreographer on one side and my co-producer on the other, and we're watching this gorgeous woman take her clothes off, and then off comes the shirt, and we're like, whoa, boobs! And like, none of us said anything, but I felt everyone's breath go. And then my choreographer's grabbing my hand. She's just like.
Yeah.
And she's doing it with her eyes closed, so she has no idea what our reaction is, because she was so into the music and so into the feeling of what she was doing. She had her eyes closed and she's moving, and she's very graceful, a lot like a belly dancer without like something between a belly dancer and a raver. So it's like
That's the best compliment ever.
and she's just
Such an image to buy.
super fluid movement, and it's like it was really entrancing. And we're sitting there like edge of our seats, like, what else is she gonna take off? We could see her boobs.
Thankfully, the song ended.
Yeah, it did before she got down
Take anything
any
else off.
further. But we were really impressed with her. But that is not
Not
required.
recommended.
Don't have to.
Not
Yeah.
required. It's not going to grease the wheels to get you in. Just so you know. We've all seen them before. But
Those are always good things.
yeah, boobs are always fantastic. It doesn't matter who's. I don't even care if I had somebody like 50 years old. I'd still want to see him. I'd still be like, yep, I do want to see your boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. We've met some really cool people, and we did know each other before. We worked together before, but it was in a very business atmosphere, so we weren't actually friends. So this has brought us. Well, I was her boss, so you're never friends with your boss.
Not really.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But then now that we've started dancing together, this is one of the friendships that's grown over time, and it's been
Definitely.
such a blessing, because it's hard to meet women as a woman.
It is. It's hard to make female friends.
It is, because
like actual friends, not
they're
women
good.
that you put up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are women you put up with,
Mhm.
and there are really good friends who will take you home after a really long performance of having pneumonia and still performing and take care of you. And you find out who the good ones are when you work that closely with people in a creative environment. And our environment is extremely creative and very sexually charged, so it's really interesting to see the dynamics of what someone's like when they audition versus how you know them by the end of the season.
Absolutely, I would think so.
Yeah, because it's always different than when you first meet them.
Now, one of my close friends, she has been taking a burlesque dancing class,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been loving it. And they've had all of these different stages, and I think they're like on the stage where they're putting costumes together, trying to create costumes and things.
Boy, is that fun.
Yeah,
And
that's the best
I
part.
wanted to know if you guys either were doing it or were looking towards the future of possibly offering classes.
We've discussed it. We have to find a more steady location for our rehearsals, because currently we're co-renting a warehouse space, which is not conducive, and the floor is concrete. So I don't know if you've ever danced on concrete floor, but we rehearse on it 3 times a week, and it
Really
hurts.
taxing. Very
Yeah,
taxing.
even in jazz shoes with
Yeah.
insoles and stuff like that, it can be pretty hardcore on you. So I would feel really bad for charging people to dance on concrete. It would be kind of not so fantastic. But if we happen to move our rehearsal space to something more conducive for that, we would absolutely offer it, because I know, as somebody who didn't dance previously, I would rather take lessons from a plus size instructor, because it makes me feel more comfortable that if that chick can do it,
Right.
I can do it. You know, if that girl who's a size 20, a size 22, size 24, somebody who you don't expect to be able to do a kick split on a chair, and then they do it in front of you, it is so amazing and inspiring that I think that we'd be really effective as burlesque teachers, because it can be really intimidating to go to a burlesque class and have a size 2 instructor who you know
really
has
any dance class.
who has
But definitely
who has been
burlesque,
dancing since they were 0, and
Right.
no, I don't mean the size, the age.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then you're like, I can't do that. And they try to be so, you know, positive to you, but it doesn't matter, because you're already in your head, that girl is skinny, of course she can do that. I'm 3 times that girl's size. Can I really do that? No, probably not. And you doubt yourself, and it blows. So I think we'd be pretty good at teaching people stuff. We actually are going to be teaching a class on burlesque at the BBW convention,
Okay.
BBW Bash in Las Vegas.
And when is that?
That is July 17th through the 21st, I believe.
Something
Oh,
we're in there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
So you're going to be in Las Vegas in July.
yes. I don't know how much the convention is for the week, but it's a BBW Bash, so there's bashes all around the world. This is the largest one in Las Vegas, and I think, what are they having, like 3,000 people this year?
Yeah, it's big this year.
It's their anniversary year, so they're having like a 1,000,001 events, and one of the events is us teaching burlesque to anybody who wants to come take our class. And then some of the people who come to take the class will have an opportunity to perform what they get to learn. And
Great.
then we'll be performing some of our routines for one of their dress-up theme nights or something. So I'll have, at least Moloko and I will be there doing a routine together, and we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we can get one of our other members to be there so we can do some other numbers with more girls. It's hard to get 6 girls to Vegas to a convention when they're so costly, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult.
Right now we're hoping that we can at least get 3 of us there so that we can promote as much as possible and hopefully get some good visibility.